Ivar Anipata is the oldest brother of three legendary adventurers, Ivar, Gad, and Armstrong. Each of them has a unique ability and talent, and Ivar is known for his brilliant, cunning, and charming nature, and he's a little devious. He is Ivar the Time Walker. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. It's time for us to dive into Ivar, one of my favorite Valiant books. This is a three-parter, so I hope you guys enjoy. A scientist gets a knock on her door, and there stands Ivar. Dr. Nila Sethi? Yeah? My name is Ivar Anipata, and you need to come with me right now. You're in danger. Why? You're about to invent time travel. And she slams the door in his face. She turns around to call the guards, and there's Ivar standing inside of her lab. Okay, so I'm a little early, but you'll have to trust me. No, dude, not cool! This is a restricted area, and I'm working with a giant friggin' laser. Yes, you are attempting to generate an observable negative energy with a femtosecond laser array and a super fast rotating mirror system. Totally awesome, no doubt. And I might add, successful. It is? Yes, but I'm warning you, if you activate the optical cavity resonator, you'll accidentally create the greatest single threat to everything in the history of your universe. In response, Nila cracks him over the head with a ruler, and the security guards come in. But the guards, they begin to light on fire, and their human skin begins to peel away. Ivar lifts off the ground, and he throws anti-grav pads onto the two of them, dropping them to the ground before pulling out his gun and opening fire on the one without skin. Walker, you will pay for keeping us from her. Yeah, I get that a lot, and then Ivar and Nila run for it, for the greatest adventure in all of time. They make their way to a portal where Ivar holds out his hand. Come with me if you want to make history. They jump through the portal and they land on a boat in 1805. Ivar tells Nila that they have 8 minutes to get over to the Spanish flagship, otherwise they'll be stranded in this time period. Nila turns around. Why don't we just take that one back? Not an option, I'm afraid, so we'll have to improvise, Ivar tells her, jumping down onto the deck. Nila is terrified. What is this? And she stumbles backwards into a man with a series of 3 cuts on his face. It's Gad the Immortal, and Ivar's brother. But Nila doesn't know this at this time, and she tells him that she has to go for fear of breaking the space-time continuum. Ivar is off shooting the Admiral for the fate of the universe, etc., etc. And with cannonballs coming in at them right now, Ivar leads Nila up to the bow of the ship and off the side of the ship and into another portal. They run through American Indians, ancient volcanoes, and starships of the future while Ivar explains how this works exactly. The individuals chasing them are Prometheans, and they can track time travel through the half-life of radioactive materials that they are carrying in their cells. To lose them, they need to hit a chain of time arcs. Time arcs are naturally occurring slips in time that open for nanoseconds all around people all day, every day. It's how you lose pens, combs, sunglasses, lighters, and keys. The tachyon compass that Ivar invented is the tool that tracks them and alerts him when they are opening. And eventually, they end up in a cafe in Japan in 4001 AD, with Rai fighting ninjas on a rooftop nearby. Nila is in shock and sitting in front of countless alcoholic beverages. Ivar tells her to drink up, she's earned it, and she asks how she'll flee if she can't stand up. Don't worry, 41st century sake is laced with nanites to keep you at a fun level of buzz, unless you know the override code. And then under his breath he says, which is happy brain fun time. So she wants to know if their actions have messed up the timeline, or if they've diverged the timeline, or what happened when they were moving through the timelines. Ivar tells her to calm down, and she demands to know what's going on. If he stopped her from making time travel, why are the Prometheans still chasing her? Shouldn't that have altered everything? And Ivar tells her it's not really that simple. The thought of making time travel is still in her mind, and their masters want to get their hands on the idea that she has. There are multiple types of time travelers, but hers is the equaler between them. She holds her head down, and Ivar takes her hand. It's okay. I'm sure Anish would be proud of you. Whoa, dude! How do you know about my dad? And that I was even thinking about him? She walks outside and runs into another Ivar. And Ivar tells himself, looking good. Nila is confused. Shouldn't that break time or something? You've seen too many movies. Look, we're going to stop them together and save the day. But Nila is sitting there thinking, there's something he's not telling me. And she's right, because the leader of the Prometheans is an older-looking cyborg Nila. As they continue their journey, Nila wants to know why and how they haven't changed history. So Ivar takes her on a teaching experience to try and kill Hitler. He explains that every new time traveler wants to kill Hitler, and they all try, but no one can. History will always throw something in the way to prevent massive history-altering facts. Almost on cue, a giant ice-licking robot with eyeballs all inside of it steps up on them, demanding Ivar's TikTok. He hands them his watch, telling them that it won't work for him anyway, and then the robot thing blasts him with a laser. It runs off, and Ivar explains that that thing is from 3045 AD, where humans have merged with social networks, and this thing is an anon lurker that performs history hacks attacks to freak people of the past out. They begin chasing him because the watch is actually his tachyon compass, allowing Ivar to navigate through time. If they don't get it back, they're going to be stranded in World War II. He begins chasing the lurker, with the lurker calling him an old pig because luckily Ivar has these pathways memorized so they can chase him through time. They end up in Poland in 1944 because the lurker appears to be another new time traveler and he looks like he's arrived to time hack and kill Hitler. Ivar and Nila sneak down to the base where he shoots the door open and steals them some uniforms. But once they sneak inside, she asks what the plan is and he tells her that he'll improvise. That's when they're quickly surrounded by guards. Ivar realizes the lurker probably set this up. They separate Nila and Ivar and they throw her into a room with a man that intends to interrogate her. But that's when she sees the man has 3 scratches across his face, because it's Gad the Immortal again. "Well, hello there, you look familiar," he tells her. "Who are you?" "I was born Gad Anipada. You're a traveler like him?" "Ivar? You know Ivar?" "How do you?" "He was my brother once, but his hunger for knowledge caused him to commit a horrific crime. He believed he was doing the right thing at the time, but it resulted in millions dying. I'll free you, but I need you to tell me what you know about him. I've been using his tachyon compass to hop from period to period, but this lurker stole it from me and I can't find him." "This is a very confusing tale. Here, this is all I can provide," Gad says, handing her a gun. "You don't want to come with us?" "I cannot. My own mission is quite different. If you want to know about Galad's mission, then check out the Eternal Warrior video or check out the Eternal Warrior comic books. He has his own thing going on where he protects the Earth." They open the door together, and as Nila watches, Gad leaps into the air battling against Nazi robots and the crazy scientists that made them. While this is going on, the Nazis are torturing Ivar by hitting him in the head with a hammer. The door swings open and Nila walks in, shooting the Nazis. She's never shot anyone before and she can't believe that she just did. In response, she vomits all over the floor before helping Ivar up. He's a bit woozy and not acting normal from the blows to the head, but he hands her the Promethean brain so that she can track the lurker down while he recovers. As she goes to leave, he mumbles, "Nila, no matter what you've done, or what you will do, I will always love you." Her eyes go wide, but he's in no state to explain, so she leaves the room. She follows the brain through the facility until she kicks in another door. "I'm a theoretical physicist on the verge of a nervous breakdown, and I've got a robot brain and a silencer, and I know how to use them both. Now who in this room is a time traveler?" Then she reads the brain again and she realizes everyone in the room is a time traveler. "Is anyone in this room not a time traveler?" One of the men chimes in telling her, "Well, duh, they all want the honor of killing Hitler." And Nila tells them, "You can't, the universe won't let you." The lurker smirks. "Kill him? LMFAO, not gonna kill him, new pig, gonna draw a penis on his forehead." So Nila pulls a gun on the lurker. "Fine, give me back the tachyon compass. You're the one who's gonna get stranded here." "WTF? Don't need pig compass to travel. Got built-in cosmic string FAP drive." "Wait, then why did you steal it?" "Private message from JobServe, don't know who, giving it to the buyer here." And that's when one of the real Nazis steps up, burns her skin off, and reveals a Promethean. All of the time travelers panic. They begin shooting just as Hitler walks in the room finally. The room explodes and Nila jumps to safety, landing next to the lurker's arm holding the tachyon compass. Hitler was also rushed to safety conveniently. The Prometheans walk over to her. "Dr. Sethi, we need you to return with us at once." She runs as fast as she can, using the arm of the lurker to activate a time portal, and she runs through it. But the Prometheans force the portal to stay open and they follow her through it. She tells them not to, they'll regret it, but they tell her, "Mistress, we are only trying to save you from him." As they walk through it, they begin to burn up due to the lower oxygen level. "Science, bitches!" Nila tells them. But as one of them falls, she relays the message. The Nila who is, she wants you to know, you can still have him. You can still save Anish. Nila is stunned. "My father? What do you mean by that?" At that moment, Ivar comes stumbling out of the foliage near her, telling her thank you for leaving him the tachyon compass. He found it where she left it. And then he sees something is off. "Is something wrong, Nila?" "You lied." "About what? I mean, no I didn't. The chronological protection conjuncture is wrong. You want me to think that history can't be changed, that Hitler can't be killed. No, you don't understand. I see why you would think. Why don't you want me to save my father, Ivar? If I did, my whole stupid life could be different. Why don't you want that?" No, Nila, you aren't letting me talk. And why should I? You're just gonna say anything you want to get what you want. Your own brother doesn't even trust you." "Which one? I get along pretty well with Armstrong." "How the hell should I know how many brothers you have? I should have gotten rid of you the moment I saw you kill the Admiral. I killed for you. I thought it was right, but you made me like you. I'm going to go save my father." And then she hits the lurker's arm to teleport away, leaving Ivar there. Nila teleported to February 9th, 2001. She sold the gun and the uniform for money and she set off on a mission to save her father. But as she raced in the hospital, another Nila pulled her into a bar. They tell her that they are the Nilas that have failed, and using their knowledge, she can avoid their mistakes. Nila tells herself, "You can't stop me, it doesn't matter if Ivar sent you." Confused, they tell her that that's not the case, and then one of them realizes, she's the first. Let her go. She runs into the hospital and into the elevator, only for it to fail. And it just stops, just in the middle of nowhere with a malfunction. She hits the wall defeated. "Don't give him anesthetic, don't do it. He'll die from it, it's a rare condition." Then she pulls out the time travel device and goes again, teleporting back. This time she runs in and tries to make it up the stairs, but a police officer drops his lighter, tripping her and breaking her leg. So she spends a little time on a beach letting her leg heal. And then she teleports back to the moment again, where she slips into some scrubs and gets distracted by a doctor with another patient. She has to teleport back again, and she sells her hair for money to buy a Hummer in hopes of running her father off the road safely, but she ends up in a bigger accident. Over and over, she tries to go back and change things until she realizes the universe won't let her change anything. Ivar was right. Meanwhile, back in the past, Ivar is fending for his life against various giant scorpions, and he lays down and decides that it's time for Plan B, because he can't stop Oblivion 1 from catching Nila now. Not like this. He's going to need his brothers, so that he can take the fight directly to the Prometheans, and he needs to learn to stop talking to himself. Back in the past, Nila ends up going back to the bar where the other version of herself dragged her into it, defeated. But this time, her future self shows up, the one with the cyborg parts, and she tells Nila that she can change the universe. She'll need to shatter the chronological protection. That is the discovery that Ivar was preventing her from making. Now she'll come with future Nila back to the future. They'll break history. Now, this is one of my 2 favorite stories of 2015, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I know it gets a little confusing, but just wait until you see where this goes. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and if you want to chat with me, follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian, follow me on Instagram at Comicstorian, and check out our gaming channel, Eligible Monster, where you can find gaming comic books, gaming unnecessary censorships, and Let's Plays. I'll see you guys next time right here.